Hey, it's Soul with another video, along with a warning. I'm going to spoil you on some patch 9.2.5 content, because I'm going to show off some footage from the three big cutscenes that are, well, they're perfectly accessible in the first day of the patch. But I'm not going to talk too much on the story. This is a video about just how far the World of Warcraft team has come when it comes to in-game visual storytelling since about a year ago. If you don't mind, like the video, subscribe for more content, and let's take a glance at an in-game cutscene from about a year ago during Shadowlands patch 9.1.
They said I must answer for my crimes. Repent for my sins. But every choice I made, I would proudly make again. You will submit. I submit to no one. Not you. Not the jailer. And not that coward thrall. For the Horde!
Let's try to get on the same page about the facts. An in-game cutscene uses the in-game engine, it's what we play World of Warcraft on right now, to produce these scenes. From the camera angle, to body movements, facial movements, to effects and sounds, all of this is possible to show live, real time, and that's how sometimes we see our own characters inserted into these scenes. Up until recently, in-game cutscenes have been what I would consider kind of simple. Character expressions are limited to the emotes already available, with some added tweaks like maybe the tilting of a torso. But the immersion tends to break on really big close-ups or long scenes where emotions they're meant to be expressed, but they just don't end up conveying themselves in a convincing manner. A more critical eye would notice these rigid, limited movements that aren't as noticeable from far away when the camera isn't locked. In fact, our characters are able to freely move around during these moments. But up close, it's definitely a bit less of a wow factor. In-game cutscenes are different from pre-rendered cinematics, where we have grown much more accustomed to characters showing a lot more human-like qualities, and emotions, and facial tics, and nuance, as well as crazier movements, with interactions and effects that are best done with the precision that comes from, well, basically rendering an entire animation that uses the Warcraft art style but is not created in-game. This evolved considerably over the years as well. Before, the WoW team basically recreated scenes using the game itself, and a camera just looked down at a bunch of actors. Of course, since then, it's gotten better and better. And finally, we gotta throw these in there too, the really high definition, cinema quality cinematics with a different art style altogether. So I put this little video together because I just wanted to share my excitement over what we've been seeing since late February when patch 9.2 developed, and we started to see this new generation of in-game cinematics that, for lack of a better word, have been mind-blowing, if not at least a very surprising and a welcoming turnaround from before. That 9.1 Garrosh cutscene, it almost highlights how much the WoW team has struggled with developments before they finally hit a stride. 1 year after this, where one person just kind of sort of played MacGyver to make this portrayal work, the in-game engine has been upgraded to where 3D artists have the tools to create full lip movement that fully enunciates words, facial movements like the eyebrows, the eyes and cheeks, even hair movement. Emotional interactions look uniquely personal. Characters aren't just facing each other, they're looking at each other. Other body movements have a much more natural look, all of it customized and, again, uniquely created for these scenes. But there's still in-game cutscenes that end up being customized depending on the player, who might be there in a scene somewhere, or whose scene might play out slightly differently because of what race or faction they represent. The results of these tool and engine upgrades have been very noticeable. Now, put aside how you feel about the story itself, I'll actually talk about that in another video, but these new and improved cutscenes are really taking WoW into today's games, which were built with these capabilities from the ground up. Because, let's not kid ourselves, WoW has been playing catch-up. I haven't played many other MMOs in recent years, at least not to great depth, so I'm gonna leave it to Final Fantasy XIV as my example of a very clever way of improving its cutscenes over the years, and that's through its abundance of emotes. It seems like with just about every patch, a few more emotes are added, most of which have some use in the game's many in-game cutscenes. The game also does employ its own unique animations where it suits the situation, but for the most part, characters kind of emote at each other, which is charming in its own way. A small number of the emotes are monetized, and my guess, they're more like the ones that the team made for fun than for use in an upcoming scene. And fans make big use of these emotes with a robust screenshot feature to show off their favorite look, because, well, that team knows that item level doesn't last forever, but glamour and screenshots do. Anything's possible, but I'm not too sure World of Warcraft is ever going to go down that route. These evocative movements are extremely specific, customized for the very scene that they're used in, down to very minute details. It's a bit harder to see these extracted or modified to be used anywhere. World of Warcraft does a lot to tell story in-game. Not everyone likes every method, and I favor some over others, but I appreciate the variety of tools the team has at their disposal, like live speech while you're out in the world, like talking heads, the stay a while and listen interactions, the pre-rendered cinematics, the high-definition cinematics, and of course, the in-game cutscenes. The WoW team is also burdening itself, in a good way, by setting a new floor where in-game cinematics almost need to have a level of quality at this or better. And that's got me pretty optimistic for Dragonflight, which we know almost nothing about, but I'd like to think that it's going to be an experience that is still exciting. Just without the emotional high stakes or the expectation of a certain payoff, I'm just hoping for something cool. And that's kind of it. I know this is a weird place for me to stop, like normally I carry on for way longer, but I just wanted to show some genuine appreciation and acknowledgement for how much the WoW team has been stepping up their game. It makes me excited for the future, for future storytelling, maybe even features down the line that do let players recreate scenes and emotional expressions like this. But thanks for coming. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for the vibes, and I will see you later. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.